Hello, today we have Paul Romness, the CEO of OS Therapies. OS Therapies recently went public and now trades on the New York Stock Exchange American under the ticker symbol OSTX. Paul, welcome back.
Thank you. Great to see you, Craig.
Great to see you too, Paul. Congratulations on your positive results from your Phase 2b OST-HER2 trial, including the statistically significant improvement in 12-month event-free survival. How will this great news impact your regulatory strategy, Paul, and of course your plans for FDA engagement?
Craig, we're really excited. We look forward to going to the FDA probably end of the first quarter, beginning somewhere in the first half of the year. The FDA knows we're coming. They're very excited about the potential for a first new treatment in osteosarcoma in over 40 years. And this is really for the patients and their families.
Paul, the Tunable ADC platform is a major advancement in targeted cancer therapy. How does your proprietary silicone linker technology differentiate from existing treatments, and what are its implications for ovarian, lung, and pancreatic cancers?
So the tunable ADC technology is a little further back in the pipeline, Greg, but it's really exciting because what we're doing in our IP, our special sauce, is that we're wrapping the payload with silicone and then attaching that payload to the construct, which I call kind of a micro cruise missile with that silicone. The beauty of silicone is it's not water or protein soluble, which would break down in your body. It's pH sensitive, so we can dial in the pH sensitivity. Turns out the cancer environment has a lower pH, higher acidity. We can dial in that acidity, that pH level, which eats away at the silicone, drops the payload exactly where we want it, and then lets that payload go active at that point. If you think about a cytotoxin cruising through your body, it's like a mover moving a piano, knocking the walls. We're dropping that payload right where we need it and then making it active.
That's a great way to make that science accessible to the common investor, Paul. Congratulations on that. How large are the market opportunities for OST-HER2 in osteosarcoma and, of course, the therapies you currently have in development?
So the market is very small for osteosarcoma, but HER2 cancers, solid tumor cancers, are huge. We see the market for OST-HER2 and osteosarcoma around $500 million. But if we move into other solid tumors, which we plan to do, adding OST-HER2 to standard of care, trastuzumab or Herceptin, in breast cancer, esophageal cancer, colorectal cancer, other cancers, this could be a huge indication, huge market share, exponential to the 500 million on osteosarcoma.
Now, Paul, how does the OST-HER2 Phase 2b data, which is showing improved survival trends and potential for a rare pediatric disease priority review voucher, position the therapy as a breakthrough in recurrent, fully resected lung metastatic osteosarcoma?
So the priority review voucher is a construct of Congress. It was supposed to be reauthorized at the end of this past year. We anticipate and hope it will be reauthorized between now and when we get approved. But if it doesn't, we are grandfathered into the system. The priority review voucher is to encourage companies like ours to do research in rare and pediatric diseases. And this osteosarcoma, which is a very deadly pediatric, young, adolescent, young adult bone cancer, we qualified for that with the rare and pediatric disease designation back in November of 2021. So we're grandfathered in. The value of those priority review vouchers, and I describe it as kind of like CLEAR or global access. It's a government-sponsored cutting in line. What we can do is sell that priority review voucher to a larger pharma company or biotech company that can then cut 4 months out of their review process at the FDA. And there's a significant advantage for them to do that because, one, they're getting to market first or earlier. They're starting their growth of their sales, and it's getting to patients sooner, which is really important. priority review vouchers historically have gone for about $100 million. The last one just sold for $150 million. Until Congress reauthorizes this, that number will continue to grow.
Now, Paul, following this phase 2B success for OST-HER2, what are the next regulatory milestones and timelines that investors should be focusing on?
So we're going to go to the FDA with this data and with some improved comparator data. And we hope to do that at the end of this quarter, beginning of next quarter. That's what we call either a breakthrough designation meeting or a type C meeting. With the feedback from the FDA, we would then apply for conditional approval with our event-free survival. And then when the 3-year overall survival comes in, we anticipate in about a year and a half that we would get full approval. But the FDA is really excited that we're coming to them with this technology.
Paul, it's a cliche, but it bears repeating. Management is critical to the success of any company, and especially a smaller cap biotech company. Who are some of the key leaders driving OS Therapies' clinical and regulatory progress?
Yeah, well, we're fortunate, Craig, to have the founding scientists for both of our platform technologies, the OST-HER2 and Dr. Robert Pettit, and then he's our Chief Medical and Scientific Officer, critical to this program. He's been working on this program for over 12 years. The folks that invented this technology at the University of Pennsylvania, Dr. Yvonne Patterson, Dr. Nicole Mason, have been working on this technology for over 15 years. We also have, as an advisor, one of the founding scientists for our OST tADC program, Dr. Uta Varner. And then, obviously, I've got my chief business officer, Craig Commissian, who has really helped us with the IPO and with the negotiations around Wall Street, and my chief financial officer, Chris Acevedo, and our chief of staff, Jack Dahl. And I am, unfortunately, a very, very seasoned veteran of the industry. As I say, startups are no country for old men, but we've had some really good success so far. This is a trial that people said couldn't get done, and the patients and the parents and the families have really supported us, and we're glad to support them.
And now, Paul, a personal question for you. Your career could have gone in any number of directions. Why did you choose to focus on osteosarcoma?
Craig, as you know, this is my life's mission. My daughter's best friend, Olivia, was diagnosed in February of 2017. I always tell the end of the story to remove the suspense, but she's doing great. She is on our board of directors as Emerita, and she just on Friday got accepted to UCLA Med School. But unfortunately, a lot of these kids don't survive. It's a survival rate of only about 50%. So this is what we have to do. And getting this trial done was a huge accomplishment, but we're really just getting started.
Wow, Paul, what a story. And I can only imagine how much today's breakthrough must mean to you personally. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, finally, the essential value proposition, Paul. Why should investors take an interest in OS Therapies right now?
Well, typical biotech investments are a very long-term investment, 5 to 8 years. We'll know from the FDA in the next 8 to 12 months of our approval, our conditional approval. We also have conditional approval from the USDA on our canine indication. As we mentioned earlier, there are only 1,000 kids a year in the United States, 20,000 kids globally that get osteosarcoma, bone cancer. But just in the United States, 30 to 40,000 dogs a year get bone cancer, osteosarcoma. Number one disease killer of dogs. Number two after automobiles. And there is no treatment for dogs that get osteosarcoma. The standard of care right now is very expensive, and pretty much every dog that gets osteosarcoma is dead within a year of getting diagnosed. As you may know, I have a bunch of dogs, and those of us that have dogs, they're really part of our family, and we need to get that treatment out to dogs as well. We look to out-license that in the very near future, and we're looking to partner commercially for the human osteosarcoma globally, just to make sure that from an unmet medical need, patients around the world get this treatment, because There has been no treatment in 40 years. And if you recur, which we're trying to prevent with our therapy, it's very, very bad survival rates.
Paul, congratulations again, and thank you for sharing your amazing story with us.
Thank you, Craig.